It's May, another great month for top picks coming up. Keep reading. Hi, Terry Gillespie here, and welcome to May's Top Picks. And we have some great books this month, and I am going to just jump right in and talk about them. So, first one is my lead book. And for those who don't remember, or this is your first time here, the lead book has to do with this author is going to be my featured author in my A to A series. So there'll be more on that later. So the name of this book is The Long March Home, and it is published by Revell in hardback, paperback, ebook, and audiobook. Now, this came out a couple of weeks ago, and it is written by Marcus Brotherton and Tosca Lee. So this, we're coming up on Memorial Day, and I wanted to get a couple of books that had a military theme. Now, if you don't normally read military books or about war, if you read historical and you read about World War II in Europe, it's I think it's really important for us to expand our scope of knowledge when it comes to World War II. And I'll tell you what, I certainly did. Well, let me just say, okay, so obviously it's historical fiction and it's World War II. Okay, the authors are Marcus Brotherton and Tosca Lee, as I said, and Marcus's bio is the New York Times, USA Today, Publishers Weekly, and Wall Street Journal best-selling author or co-author of more than 25 books. These have been called fascinating, brilliantly arranged, magical, and refreshingly frank. Tosca Lee is the New York Times best-selling author of 11 novels, including The Line Between, The Progeny, The Legend of Sheba, and Iscariot. Lee's work has been praised as deeply human, powerful, and mind-bending historical fiction. So, I would agree with that. The summary is pretty short. Inspired by true events, this gripping coming-of-age tale of friendship, sacrifice, and the power of unrelenting hope during World War II follows three friends from Mobile, Alabama, as they struggle to survive the Bataan Death March and make it home to their families and the girl they left behind. Now, how many of you have heard of the Bataan Death March? I had never heard of it. I spoke to my husband and he said he had heard about it. And when I asked him about it, he just kind of shook his head. And this occurred in, like I said, in World War II, but in the Philippines. And it was right around the bombing of Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. So I've left reviews in my usual locations like Amazon and Goodreads, BookBub, et cetera. However, I don't want to say too much about this book. It is gritty, gripping, and difficult to read. And as I was reading it, it was, I don't know if I want to read this. And then all of a sudden, it was like this switch flipped. And it was like, oh my gosh, I need to read this because this is important, because this is a historical event that very few people know about. And over 10,000 people died as a result of this part of history. There's a part of the time I wanted to throw the book across the room because I was so angry, and then other times I'm crying. So it's so good. So usually I read the first sentence of each book. Here we go. And helpful to see where the Bataan Peninsula is within the Philippines. July 8th, 1941. Dear Jimmy, you left without a single word. Very, very. I can't help it because I'm sitting here thinking about the story. And, that's one of the signs of a book that really grips your heart is when you're sitting here, you read one line and you're remembering the whole book. Yeah. So I am really excited about meeting and talking to Tosca. Unfortunately, Marcus Brotherton was not able to be a part of the interview next month, but maybe another time. Okay, next book is With Every Memory by Janine Rosche. Is that how you pronounce it? Rosche? My German is saying Rosche. Okay. This is also published by Revell in hardback, paperback, ebook, and audiobook. And this category is fiction, and it's contemporary fiction. And it is Janine's bio is she is the author of the Madison River Romance and Whisper Canyon series of novels. Prone to wander, she finds as much comfort on the open road as she does at home. This longing to chase adventure, behold splendor, and experience redemption is woven into her stories. When she isn't traveling or writing novels, she teaches family life education courses, produces the Love Wander Read Journal, and takes too many pictures of her sleeping dogs. Okay, gotta love that. And this is such an interesting cover, don't you think? I don't know if you can see the person's head there. And it's kind of faded out. Okay, here's the summary. After a tragic accident robs her of the last 9 years of memories, Laurie Mendenhall comes home to a family completely different than she remembers. As her memory returns and past secrets resurface, it will take all of them to repair what's been broken and find a new future together. Now, can you imagine that? What it doesn't say here is the accident was less than a year ago, but she can't remember 9 years of memory. So imagine that going home and, everybody's 9 years older, including yourself. So that got me. That got me on the get-go. So here is... It's interesting. She starts with the author's note. It's interesting. Okay. Laurie. Even the best makeup cannot hide the fact that I've been raised from death to life. Okay, there I go again. Really a good book. It really got me thinking about memories and how we view memories, and some information about brain injuries that was fascinating, just fascinating. Okay, the next one is Her Only Wish by Shelley Shepard Gray. Now, this is the second book in the season in Pinecraft. Now, the first book, I just loved that first book. It was incredible. First of all, because I had no idea there is a resort area in Florida where Amish people go for vacation. So, and these young girls decide to take a vacation, and they come from different locations, and they end up stranded in Georgia because of, I think it was for bad weather. And these young women become friends. So this is one of the other girls in the group's story. So Shelley Shepard. Oh, I didn't say. This is published by Revell, and it's in paperback, ebook, audiobook, and it's in library binding, which I guess that means I looked it up, and it means that the cover and the spine and everything else is much stronger. So because it's going to get a lot more. Ooh, I don't like what that's doing to the camera. Anyway, and I guess maybe they put that little plastic thing on the cover. I like that. I like the sound of it when I open up the book, a library book. So I'll have to go to the library and see if I can find this. So I love Shelley Shepard Gray. I really do. So I was really looking forward to book 2. So Shelley is a New York Times and USA Today best-selling author of more than 100 books, including Her Heart's Desire. She's a 2-time winner of the Holt Medallion and a Carol Award finalist. Gray lives in Ohio, where she writes full-time, bakes too much. Is there really such a thing as baking too much? I don't think so. And can often be found walking her dachshunds on her town's bike trail. Okay, so this is contemporary fiction, and this actually won't be released until June 6th. So, but remember, when you pre-order books, especially if you pre-order on the publisher's site, a lot of times there's some special deals and some special giveaways and things like that. Plus, it really does help the authors with pre-sales. So, and let's see, is Memory also with Every Memory also comes out next month. So be sure and pre-order that, and that's Revell. And all the information will be down below in the description section. I'll have the link to the publisher's website, which will have links to all the different retail outlets, including online. So here is the summary. New York Times bestselling author delivers a sweet, enchanting Amish romance between a sheltered young woman eager for adventure and a young man who hopes she's the adventure he's been waiting for. That's cute. It's really cute because she has not like a bucket list, but a life list of things that she's wanted to do for a long time. She has asthma, so a lot of her asthma has kept her from a lot of things, and her parents have kept her from a lot of things. So one of the things she wants to learn is how to golf. And guess who is the golf instructor? All right. A little flourish here. Chapter 1, June. It was a beautiful morning in Pinecraft, Florida. I'm going to read the second sentence. Once again, the sun was out, the flowers were blooming, and there was the slight undercurrent of salt in the air. I am a beach person, so that's very vivid and makes me want to go to the beach. I miss living close to the shore, the Jersey Shore. Let's see here. Ooh. Okay. The next book is Counterattack. And this is the first book in a new series by Patricia Bradley called the Pearl River series. So I always love starting with a new series of an author that I really love. So this book is published by Revell in hardback, paperback, ebook, and audiobook. And here's a little bit about Patricia, and you can see why I really like her. Patricia is the author of Standoff, Obsession, Crosshairs, and Deception, as well as the Memphis Cold Case novels and Logan Point series. Bradley is the winner of an Inspirational Reader's Choice Award, a Selah Award, and a Daphne du Maurier Award. She was a Carol Award finalist, and 3 of her books were included in anthologies that debuted on the USA Today bestseller list. Co-founder of Aiming for Healthy Families Incorporated, Bradley is a member of the American Christian Fiction Writers, which is how I found out about her and how I met her. She's also part of Sisters in Crime, and she makes her home in Mississippi. So this is romantic suspense, and I am a suspense junkie, and she delivers on this. She really delivers. So this one actually just came out, last week? Yes, came out last week. So order it now. The summary for this book is the day Alexis Stone is sworn in as interim sheriff, the Queen's Gambit killer strikes again, leaving a chilling calling card of a white pawn and a note with a chess move printed on it. Alexis must join forces with the police chief, Nathan Landry, to find the killer before their next move. And of course, the chief and she have history. All right. First sentence. Fame, and that's Phame, Fame fingered the white pawn and opened the Tor browser from a USB drive. Okay, that tells you, do you know anything about the dark web? Tells you the killer is a part of the dark web. So she starts out with the serial killer's point of view, which I like that. When it's done well, I like that. Joel Rosenberg, the Libyan Diversion. Okay, little story, little trivia. I almost met Joel Rosenberg at a conference that I helped put on in outside Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and it's a Messianic Jewish International Conference. And when his first book came out, and it was a New York Times bestseller, the powers to be said, "Hey, we want Joel Rosenberg to speak at our conference." So I worked in the green room uh, doing social media responses, and Joel came in and he was sitting and everything else, but I was busy working, so I never did get to meet him. I was like 6 feet away, never did get to meet him. Anyway, but very much a fan. And I hadn't read any of his books, in probably 8 years, maybe. And so when I got Libyan Diversion, I was so excited because I wanted to see if I still loved his books. I still love his books. So this is actually book 5 in the Marcus Riker series. And this is, even though it's the 5th book in the series, I didn't have a whole lot of trouble keeping up. So if you just want to try it out for the first time and don't want to start at the very beginning, it's still okay to start with book 5. So this one came out last week as well, and it's a big one. So plan to invest some time, but it is worth it. So this is a little bit about, oh, okay, I should tell you, this is published by Tyndale in hardcover, audiobook, ebook, and audio CD. It's not out in paperback yet. Even though this is paperback, this is actually an advanced reader's copy. But, once they go through a couple of printings, they usually bring it out in paperback. But it's kind of nice to have a hardback. I have some very treasured hardbacks in my library. So here's a little bit about Joel. He is a New York Times bestselling author with nearly 5 million copies sold among his 17 novels and his 5 nonfiction titles. He has been profiled by the New York Times, the Washington Times, and the Jerusalem Post, and has appeared in hundreds of radio and TV programs in the US, Canada, and around the world. Now, he has the insights he has in the geopolitical climate, it's almost prophetic in nature. It's like, I don't know, that he has direct line with the Holy Spirit or with the Lord on some insights that, in fact, this is one of those books where you read it and you wonder, oh, should I know this stuff? So anyway, here's just a little bit about the book. The world's most wanted terrorist is dead. Marcus Riker recommended the drone strike himself. The intelligence was rock solid. But what if it was wrong? Yeah, I'm still in the story here again. All right, let's read the first line. Operation Desert Storm. So it is a dual timeline. So it's a contemporary novel, but it is a dual timeline. So and therefore it's going to go back and forth. Doesn't go too far back though. Pardon me. Operation Desert Storm, 16 January 1991. The inky black skies over southern Iraq suddenly erupted with sound and fury. Okay, I'm going to read the next one. It's really good. It was as the slumbering Babylonian gods had awoken from beneath the desert sands and begun hurling their javelins up, up, up into the heavens. It's so good. And the thing that I love about Joel Rosenberg is he knows all of these things. Well, he's inside the rooms and boardrooms of all sorts of different organizations. So, but what's really wonderful is he brings in the humanity. So it can't just be about technology or terrorists, or it's really exploring the humanity of everything, which really kept me glued to the book. So well worth it. So those are my picks for this month, and two of them are related to military, which the Long March Home and the Libyan Diversion. And it's just a reminder as Memorial Day comes up that just if you see a serviceman or you see, even my husband is so good because he's also a veteran. When he sees an older gentleman and he's got a ball cap with some type of military insignia of the branch of service, he always thanks them for their service. So that's just something to remember, to thank those who have given so much to this country. So that's it for this month. Just a reminder that the A2A author interview will be, when is it going to be? It will be air June 7th, and it will feature Tosca Lee. And I'd love to be able to see her doggy. She shows a lot of pictures of her German Shepherd. So anyway, I'll have more on that, and we'll be giving away books. So you'll have to stay tuned for that. So thanks so much for joining me. If you haven't subscribed, be sure and subscribe. Hit that red button, and when the little white bell shows up, press that little bell and you won't miss any future episodes. And remember that all those links for all of these books are down below in the description section, including the websites to the authors and everything else. So be sure and check that out, and be sure and comment, and share. Okay. Thank you. See you next month. In the meantime, God bless and keep reading.